a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
There's just one place to celebrate a happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Take $10,000 off a 2025 MDX at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
There's just one place to celebrate a happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive away in a new ZDX. Only $459 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer. The Sports Trip.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rayom can help. The viewpoints, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
Alrighty. Good evening, boys and girls. So, baby, it is a win. The boys stay undefeated. First of all, I need to know that you're hearing everything. Make sure I'll put on the headsets now when I get Manny. But give me the heads up here because I'm flying solo. No Sean. So let me hear. Good. All right. The good news is they won. They stayed undefeated. They beat FSU. They're the state champions. But the way they finished was concerning, right? We're happy they won. There's no doubt about it. But we can't dance around the fact that, the first couple of years for Mario, there's been boneheaded decisions in every season. Well, this was the first one of the season. Okay? How you not kick that field goal to put the game completely out of reach is absolutely asinine. Because you're not going for a field goal anymore. You need to score 2 touchdowns now at that point. The field goal is not going to help you. So, yeah, this is like, I don't understand that one, to be quite honest. That was a king-size, stupid-ass decision by the coaching staff. Luckily, they've got the better team. Okay? But the defense, after shutting them out, then all of a sudden you started to, give up plays and miss tackles and penalties. And so you got sloppy. And this is what happens when young teams have trouble handling success. And that's what's going to happen now for the second half of the season, because they're superior to every team that's coming up, and they're going to play themselves pretty much. Okay? It's against them. It's stupid stuff like that will allow another team like SMU or whatever you have on the schedule to get into the game. And that's the only thing that you come out of this game super happy. Okay, they won, they're undefeated, they continue the streak, and it's awesome and it's fantastic. But we have to say, hey, some questionable coaching decisions here down the stretch, and a catastrophically stupid one. Okay? And I see what you're trying to do. You're trying to fake. Like, hey, I'm going to call a timeout. Okay, this, that. And then you really run the play. I saw what they were trying to do and all that. The announcers kind of got fooled with the whole thing. But then after you saw it play out, they meant to run that play. And Malachi Tony was open. And Beck didn't hit him. This is not a perfect passing game yet. You know what I'm saying? It's going to make a lot of plays like it did today, but it's not perfect. And in those moments, there you go. Tony was open. I mean, if he lobs it perfectly, the play works out, but it didn't. And really, you've got the better team, the better offensive line, the better defensive line. You've dominated the game. Take the field goal. It was a short field goal. It's not even, you're not making the kid kick a 50-something yarder. It's in the 40s. It's makeable. Okay? This is one where you walk away, okay, you walk away happy with the victory, but you have to question some of the things that happen in this game, unfortunately. And that's one that you kind of have to live with. So let's do this. Don't forget, folks, you can make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. You can send in your questions, comments, insults, all kinds of stuff. Manny Navarro joins us with our Caneswear Miami Hurricanes post-game report.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. If you're a Miami sports fan, there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2655 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop. Time for Canes fans to get what they want. Information, insight, and perspective. It's the Caneswear Miami Hurricanes Report with Manny Navarro. Exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. Here's Big O and insider Manny Navarro.
Right, my brother. Oh, man. It's a beautiful night. They won 5-0. First win in the ACC now. So you're 1-0 there. You are state champions. Everything, is positive in a sense, but you kind of walk away with a little bit of a sour taste because of the way they ended. And the other thing, so it's a multi-part question. The other thing is his career here with Miami has been filled with some games that have had very memorable bad decisions. And today, I would have to say the first one of the season happened. I thought it was absolutely dumb that you didn't go for the field goal, to be quite honest. Just end the game right there. Force them to go to two touchdowns. That
Right.
field goal played into it because you were still in the game if you got the onside kick. You kicked that field goal, you forced them to 2 touchdowns. With that offense, there's really no way they're going to do it. I just disagreed going with that. You know what I mean? That was the one thing that I would say, that was the cringy moment. Even though the defense was kind of cringy down the stretch here, that was my cringy moment. And that's what kind of takes away a little bit from this win.
I think Mario's coaching like a guy who has PTSD. I think that's really what's happening here, right? I mean, you think back to the biggest criticism he had in his career, basically trying to run out the clock against Georgia Tech and you fumble. And it's like he just goes into this mode of we can't turn the ball over. We can't turn the ball over. We can't give them a chance. We can't. And it's crazy, but it's not the first time it's happened this season. Go back to the Notre Dame game. Go to the Florida game, right? There were plenty of opportunities in those games.
Same game, I give them a break there because you didn't know who your offense was at that moment. And as you can see, it's still not a fine-tuned offense. It's just got explosive players. But look, Malachi Tony was open. If you had the right touch, you would have had that right there. You know what I'm saying? But so I understand that. This one, to me, this one was so obvious, bro. Just end it. Just kick the stupid field goal. That's it. It's over.
Right. They were fully in control of this game for 3 quarters, and they just kept playing with their food because, to me, it's all about don't turn the ball over, don't make the mistake. That's what it is. It's what it all comes down to, basically, man. And I get it. The fans are frustrated, but this is the way Mario's going to coach, I think, most nights. And look, if you get up 28-3 on most opponents, you're not going to have what the Atlanta Falcons have happened to them, right? It's just not going to happen most nights. You're going to be able to win a game like that, even playing scared in the fourth quarter. But I just think this is the way he is, and until he, I don't know, maybe blows a game like this, maybe he'll approach it different. But I think he's just with PTSD. That's the way I view it. Just my opinion.
Wow, that was like elementary, dude. By the way, this game did not go like I thought, because I thought Miami would control the line and run it right down their damn throats and run it 50 times in this game, because I watched Virginia just do whatever the hell they want on them. And then all of a sudden it was the pass game that was the bomb, and Malachi Tony and CJ Daniels with 2 touchdowns each, and the tight ends got involved in all of that, and they made some key catches to keep drives alive and keep things moving. It was the pass game that was the savior of the offense today. The run game got shut down by FSU.
Yeah, I think this is more about what Florida State was doing. Florida State was so focused, I think, on the run game, putting guys in the box and just trying to load up in there, that it became obvious after that opening series that they had to throw the football. And once those lanes were open, Miami just ate them alive, because Florida State secondary really isn't that good. You could see, go back to that Virginia game. They got exposed in that. So to me, it was just a matter of taking what you should. And I think Florida State came in with a game plan of, hey, we're not going to let you run the football. We're going to put as many guys in the box as possible and make it hard for your guys to move the pile. And they did. And they got better, defensive linemen than a lot of the teams Miami normally faces in the ACC. So that's why that happened. And I guarantee you it's what teams are going to do going forward against Miami. They're going to try to just force Carson Beck to throw the ball down the field and make mistakes and take away the run. That's the way most defenses operate, right? That's what they want to do. So until Miami proves that they can consistently beat teams the way that they did tonight for 3 quarters, throwing the football, teams are just going to keep trying to take the run away. And it worked. It worked for Florida State. It helped them. Stay in the game in the fourth quarter because Miami was not being aggressive whatsoever, and they just kept stuffing them every time they tried to run it.
How much was it a young team that can't that they got to handle success, and they're out there and they got this fat ass lead, and maybe they kind of let up a little bit. I'm wondering how much of that, because there were some missed tackles, there were some penalties.
That was just a defense gassed. These guys play up tempo offense, and I think that was basically it. They were just getting gassed there. And look, Florida, give credit to Castellanos. I mean, as horrible as he played the first 3 quarters, he played an excellent fourth quarter in terms of just stretching things out and extending plays. And I mean, he had to have been exhausted with how much energy he exerted, in that fourth quarter. But look, the bottom line is, man, for 3 quarters, Miami looked like so much of a better team. But what we ended up seeing in the fourth quarter ultimately was a reminder that when they go into a shell, boy, you better hold on by the seat of your pants. It's gonna be scary.
Yeah, and it's what I was telling everybody about Castellanos is that his balls, his moxie is also what kills him too, because he'll throw those interceptions too, but he'll get on a roll because he's absolute all the mistakes he made, bro. He compartmentalizes better than most people in the world. The guy just completely forgot about how he played, and then he just got on a roll after that. You know what I mean? So that's why he's a little dangerous, because every time you watch him, it's like, okay, he can make some plays. You know what I'm saying? There were a couple throws that he made that they didn't catch it, and he right there pretty much for them to make it. It just, they couldn't come up with it. But, to his credit, the kid's got, some serious moxie. Jacoby Thomas, dude.
Yeah.
Wow, that was good. I mean, the kid had a sack, had an interception. I haven't checked here yet on the defensive stats to see how many tackles he ended up with, but Jacoby Thomas played a hell of a game, dude.
Yeah, I think he's credited with just 5, but he had a sack, he had a tackle for loss, an interception, 2 pass breakups, forced fumble. He was everywhere for them today. So, I mean, look, he's lived up to the billing, right, in terms of the late spring pickup and being able to get him to come in and really contribute. Keontae Scott had a great game, I thought, as well. The nickelback, he had 11 tackles and a breakup as well. So, look, they upgraded the secondary significantly with talent. And look, this shouldn't have ended this way. It should have been a completely dominating performance in the sense where the offense continued to pour it on Florida State. But ultimately, you're going to look at the final numbers and you're going to say, wow, Florida State had 404 yards and Miami had 338. Well, that's what happens when you only play 3 quarters of offense and you just decide, we're just going to hold on to a 25-point lead. So defensively, this isn't going to be a great night for them in terms of numbers because it's going to hurt some of their season averages. But the reality is for 3 quarters, they completely shut down the number 1 offense in the country in terms of points and yards per play. So I'm not worried about what happened defensively in the fourth quarter. I just think that was a product of tempo, guys being gassed, and Miami not playing offense. That's going to happen to you when you decide you're just not going to play offense.
Dude, quietly, Wesley Basaint is like an MVP.
Yeah, he's been solid for them this year. I mean, look, there's been moments.
2 onside recoveries, bro.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. One was a rebound that he, that one was, and then right at the end here, like quietly, he got 2 footballs that were very, very important in this game, dude.
Yeah. Well, I think he's been a guy who's been a 3-year starter for you. And I know statistically, with the PFF rankings and all that, he hasn't been one of the better players on the defense, up until this season. But he's just a smart player. He's a good player. He's always where he's supposed to be most of the time. And if he doesn't make a play, it's because the guy, on the field made a better play than he did. It's not because he wasn't in the right spot or was out of place. So it doesn't surprise me at all that he was the guy that picked up the onside kicks there. He's got good hands.
And what's it called? Fitzgerald also picks up his 3rd interception of the season, dude.
What's crazy about that is that kid is a true freshman who didn't even play spring ball. Like, how often do guys who don't play spring ball even get on the field, right? When they're a summer arrival. And he gets in basically at the last minute in the fall because of the graduation requirements or whatever at Columbus. And he comes in and he's got 3 picks now. He's got less than 100 snaps played on defense. That's a kid who, we heard of when he was coming up, all I kept hearing about, he's like Cam Kitchens. He just knows how to read quarterbacks. You're going to see he's going to get a bunch of picks. You can see, I think he's even better than Cam Kitchens in terms of just knowing where to be. He's hardly played and he's got 3 picks to lead the team. So kudos to that guy. He's going to be a stud here.
And by the way, Malachi Toney, bro. I mean, Jesus, talk about another young guy. He just plays like, and he had a touchdown called back because of the penalty. You know what I mean? Which is
he should have had 3 touchdowns today.
Yeah, because today the team, when it comes to penalties, dude, 12 for 98, like sloppy shit, dude.
Yeah, 6 of them.
Although that last one, that unnecessary roughness one, that last one and here at the end, that was kind of cheesy, bro. It's kind of cheesy, but
that was a weak call at the end of the game. The other one I thought, horse collar, I guess it is what it is, but like, it's just hard, man. When those guys are running so fast, you're trying to make the tackle, like, whatever. The ones that bother me are the pre-snap penalties because it's continued to sort of be a recurring problem this season. On offense, just the false starts. You can't have that. It's costing you. They should have won this game easily, and I think the penalties ultimately cost them more than anything else.
Yeah, I mean that's it. There was one injury. The kid that had the interception. The DB. How is he? Do you know anything about it? Poyser.
Yeah, I think he ended up. They kept him out. It was like a foot injury. I think it was his right foot. I don't. It's hard. It's hard to tell. I think we'll have to see. Miami's got a bye week this week, so he could be right back out there. The next game against Louisville that Friday night. We'll have to see how he sort of comes along. But the good news is anybody who's dealing with bumps and bruises after this game can have some time to heal.
Louisville lost today to Virginia.
Yep.
30
at home.
Yeah, and Virginia improved to 5-1, 3-0 in the ACC. Pitt beat BC. Belichick, man, I'm telling you, he's really showing the league how it's done. I mean, seriously.
Yeah, he's getting his ass handed to him every single time. Yeah, Virginia and Duke, I think, are the other ACC teams with 2 wins in the conference play, at least 2 wins in conference play. And I think the other one that's undefeated right now is Cal. That's it. Those are the only teams that haven't been beaten in conference play yet.
Which Duke and Cal are playing each other tonight, right now. I know.
Correct.
The last time I checked, it was Duke leading, I believe, 7-0 or something like that.
And Miami, of course, doesn't play any of those teams.
Yeah, it's 21-14 California right now with 7:47 left in the second quarter.
Yeah, I figured that would be an entertaining game because of the quarterbacks. That freshman for Cal is really, really good. So, the point is Miami doesn't, if they lose a game, they won't control their destiny because they won't have a chance to play Duke or Virginia or any of these other teams. So tonight, Duke and Cal will take care of each other. But I like Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech's another team's undefeated. I think one of your listeners decided to post that on there as well. I forgot about them in conference play. So, yeah. So, I mean, look, it's your first conference game. You still got to go out there and take care of business, but they'll be favored. Miami should be favored in every single game that's left. There's only one team left on their regular season schedule who has 1 loss. That's Louisville. Everybody else has 2 losses or more. So,
no. Miami's the only thing Miami's playing the rest of the way is themselves. But see, this second half was a good example that they're not good at handling success because they let up and they lost their edge. and they let them back into the damn game. And these are the things that now you're going to be, they're going to blow you up for the next half of the season, and you're going to be so much better than everybody else. And you can't go in there screwing up like today with all those penalties and mistakes. And then you give a lesser team an opportunity to surprise you, dude. Look what happened with UCLA today in Penn State.
Yeah. Well, I think what's happened, when you look at the 3 times Miami was sort of in trouble this season against Notre Dame and even Florida, it's when they stopped being aggressive, right? When they sort of took their foot off the gas pedal. So maybe these are lessons for Mario going forward, that you don't take your foot off the gas pedal, right? You don't have to go into a shell with your offense, because look, it was 13-0 against Florida in the third quarter. They had that touchdown called back. I get it. It's wet. It's rainy. But did you really have to go into a shell against that team, even up 13-7? You run your offense, man. Have some confidence in the guys that you have running on that side of the ball. You had the number 1 offense in the country last year. So you got Carson Beck. You paid him a lot of money. Let those guys cook, so to speak. So I think that's my takeaway from this game. It's Miami has continued to dominate the majority of the teams that they play, but what gets them in trouble is just letting guys back in it because they don't keep their foot on the gas.
By the way, second game in a row, Lofton and Ballman in the mix. That's pretty good also. I know it's 5 receptions, 33 yards. It's not a lot, but they were actually big, important plays, actually. They helped move the chains on those drives. And the Lofton kid looks imposing, bro. So it's pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? That I think they're becoming a bigger part of the offense now, is what I'm saying.
Well, they have to. Look, I mean, they took shots on the field tonight with Tony and Daniels in the first half to build that lead. But a lot of this offense becomes dumping the ball off, right? And Lofton, I think, ended up with 3 catches for 21 yards in this game. Bowman caught a first down pass sort of as a dump off option. You have to do something if you're going to go into a shell or be more conservative. And so utilizing the tight ends is the way to go, because these receivers, the more and more success that they have, Tony and Daniels, teams are going to start trying to game plan for them as well, right? They can't just ignore them. So I think ultimately you need Lofton and Bauman to really get involved, and it's good to see that they're doing more.
What do you got going on in the Athletics so folks can check you out, my brother?
Well, we got the coverage from tonight's game. Matt Baker, who's in Tallahassee. I'm here at home, but we both of us have the coverage from the game, and we'll have more in the week ahead, brothers, including the next podcast, Wide Right, where I'm sure Miami fans will get mad at me for something else that I say about Mario. But what can you do?
Follow him on Twitter, and make sure you follow him there at Manny_Navarro, and subscribe there to The Athletic. Manny, as always, my brother, thank you. Appreciate you immensely. We will catch up later on in the week, my man. Thank you.
Good talking to you, man. Take care.
All right, you got it. There you go, Manny Navarro, and our Caneswear Miami Hurricanes report. And let me see if I can find the close to it. And by the way, use our code BIG010. You'll get 10% off anything and everything with the Canes logo on it. Heat, Panthers, Marlins, Dolphins, Inter Miami. They got all kinds of stuff there. Go see Brett, Jeff, Jack, Ken Graff, all the great people out there. They're awesome. They will take care of you. And online or in person, use our code BIG010. You will get 10% off. Plus, online, if you order over $99, you will get free shipping at Caneswear.com.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at Caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
All right. By the way, Acura Pembroke Pines, a proud sponsor of our program. They've been with us for like 15 years, man. We love Larry Schlossberg and Pat Nasto, Tony Stampone, all the great people out there. And they've got the happy new model year going on right now. And the sale with the ADX, 2025 model, $299 a month, 4.9% financing for 60 months. The Integra 2025 model, $299 a month, 3.9% financing for 60 months. And the RDX, $419 a month for that 2025 model, 4.9% financing for 60 months. Tell them that Big O sent you. They will take care of you at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. All right, remember, you can make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana donation. Bag on Head on Venmo, thank you, sir. He says, we were 5-0. I'm focusing on that, and I'm fired up. These kids will learn from that fourth quarter. Yeah, but it's the coach that has to make those decisions. You don't need style points anymore. We dominated a good opponent. Hopefully Mario learned that we need to keep our foot on the gas, but take a field goal when it makes sense. Go Canes, baby. Yes, you got to. I'm super happy they're undefeated, but you got to kick the field goal, man. You got to kick the field goal. Sweet baby Ray, thank you for the love on Cash App. Appreciate that. He says, thank you, Herb Street, for calling out UM Brass. There you go. Oh, yes, that's right. That's right. Yeah, because it doesn't help when I call them out because, I told them for years they weren't spending, and finally the Herb Street call out was the thing that kind of got them fired up and has made a difference. There's no doubt about that. Yes, that kind of did happen. Let me go through the super chats as always. Let's start off with True Fin Fan. Thank you, sir. Says conservative play calling by Mario was alarming. I completely agree, my brother. You got to take that field. That was, whether it's conservative or ballsy going for it, however you want to look at it, it was just dumb. Dude, take the field goal. Do the math. Simple math. Make it a 12-point game. It's over. You're playing a shitty offense. You're playing an athlete. You're not playing a real quarterback. That's why the announcers are really nice when, this is not an offense. It's built to play from behind. And, he's an athletic person to run. Yeah, he's just he's basically a running back out there playing quarterback. We go to why too many penalties for a championship. Well, again, it's only the 5th game of the season for this team. This whole team has not been together for that long, so we got to give them some time. And they weren't committing this many penalties in the first couple of games. Today was a bad one. Today we got to hold it against them. It is what it is. But it was disgusting today. Stephen Rowell, thank you, sir. Not the first time where it's the right time for Mario to live up to his conservative nature, reputation. He suddenly does the complete opposite today with the field goal or 2023 versus Georgia Tech, 5-0, but concerning. Yep. And we have PTSD from from several of the bad Mario decisions in the first couple of years. These are the moments that today brought back those nightmares. That's basically what it is. It brought back the nightmares. Man of 1,005 holds, thank you for the love on the super chat. Says, I've never felt so deflated from a win like this. Anything from first to the third quarter doesn't matter to me right now. Put the team away. I agree. And it is a bittersweet night. We're super happy they won, but we're still kind of concerned, like, yo, bro, we thought like that, those chinks in the armor are gone. They're still there. You're still what's it called? Susceptible to absolutely stupid decisions, because I like Mario, man. I've always liked everything about Mario, but on game day is the one thing that I worry about with him, and that it's a tight game against a better team, and you make that kind of a stupid decision. Yeah, I get concerned. Yeah. Hell yeah, I get concerned. Yeah. By the way, you can get this hat at Caneswear, just in case. And visit our friends at Welt and Rayom. Welt and Rayom, proud sponsors. We love Jeff Welt, by the way, big UM guy. Jeff Welt and Daniel Rayom, 954-966-4646. Bankruptcy, homeowner property damage, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury. Reach out to our guys at Welt and Rayom. All right, Drake Jordan, I'm telling you, that conservative crap will catch up with you. He should have gone for the field goal. I'm with you. Devin, I started off the show with it. It was unacceptable. It was just dumb. It lacked zero common sense. And that's what I've seen for the last couple of years with Mario, that there's a game where he does something that makes no sense at all, and it's flat out stupid. And that was one tonight, unfortunately. We've got Jay Gooden. Don't like that fourth quarter at all, but the Canes pretty much dominated the whole game for most part against FSU. Yeah, they choked them out. They dominated them. It's just their mistakes and their laziness and bad coaching gave them a chance to get back into the game. And thank you all with the super chats. Appreciate you all out there. We have caught up to the super chats. Thank you. Remember, Cash App or Venmo. We encourage Cash App or Venmo because we get 100% of it. By the way, one of the things we like also figuring out on the show is who is the MVP of the game. And when I look at what was going on tonight, I got to say I have my Moody's Dental MVP of the game.
Who's last night's MVP? There's only one MVP for your family's dental care.
Moody's Dental. Get your smile back at Moody's Dental. Visit them on Instagram at moodys.dental.
Here's our Moody's Dental MVP of the night.
Tony. Malachi Tony, for me, is definitely an MVP. 7 catches, 107 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 called back. There should have been a third touchdown penalty, which, part of the, 98 yards of penalties. And when I look at Malachi Tony, I look at a kid that is mature beyond his years on a football field. I don't know how he is off the field, whatever. It's got to be a pretty good kid, because to be a freshman and to be that mature, to do that kind of stuff, he might be a pretty good character off the field. But wow, dude, I am so impressed how he blocks, how he carries himself on the field, and then the playmaking ability that he brings to the table. And let me tell you something. For a freshman, we're not talking about a fragile kid either. He's a tough sumbitch. I have just been absolutely impressed with Malachi Tony. To me, that when you talk about this is a freshman that Miami has as a number 1 wide receiver for the next several years. That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So you're going to have him at least through his junior year. So you're going to have him for 2 more years as the number 1 guy. There's no way he plays for his senior year. No way. By the way, our friends at Moody's Dental, let me see if I have the billboard for it. See, that's the part that hurts when I don't have my guy here, Sean Stanley. I don't know how to run everything myself, but that's kind of how it goes. But anyway, with Moody's Dental, if you're in Dade, 305-821-0231. In Broward, 954-692-6825. Invisaligns, dental implants, preventive care, cosmetic surgery. Tell them that Big O sent you. I promise you they will take care of you. And Malachi Tony, our Moody's Dental MVP of the night.
The MVP of the night is brought to you by Moody's Dental.
From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams. To schedule an appointment in Dade, call 305-821-0231. In Broward, 954-692-6825. Follow them on Instagram at moodys.dental, providing MVP smiles every day of the year.
Right. Thank you to the people at Moody's Dental, as always, and a great place for you and your family to visit. Check them out. Good people out there at Moody's Dental. All right, what else do we want to talk about here on the show? the penalties you have got to clean up. I mean, I don't need to. You guys are smart enough. You've watched enough football. You know how it goes. You can't play stupid football. And right now, the beauty for the Miami Hurricanes is that talent-wise, they're just better than everybody right now. They're better, they're deeper, but they're not disciplined enough yet, which is what you saw today. They're not mature enough because they are green in a lot of places. I mean, dude, Bain, one of your best players, had two penalties. That it's not normal, but there you go. And these are things that cannot happen with your best player, cannot happen with your team that much. And again, why do you worry about this? Why do you worry about the bad decisions? Why do you worry about the penalties? Why do you worry about the defense letting up? Why do you worry about maybe not keeping your foot on the gas? Because when you get to the playoffs, you're going to be playing the top teams, and you can't be doing this kind of shit. So that's something that needs to kind of, it's really, really important that they figure this shit out and that they don't have these kind of issues moving forward. You've got, 7 more games to go, right? 12 on the season. You've got 7 more games to go. You're better than everybody else that's left. You're going to be heavily favored. This is where you start working on your professionalism. Playing a clean game, playing a disciplined game. Now, there aren't going to be a lot of people that can push you around. See, Florida State, they're going to be one of the few teams left on your entire schedule that has the talent to do what they did today to stop the run. There aren't a lot of teams, but when you get to the playoffs and you start facing some of the top teams, they will have the kind of defense to stop the run and force you to pass, which they were able to get away with it today. Today, they made a lot of plays. But you got to be smart about this, dude. And you got to play cleaner football, and that's why a lot of you are concerned. Okay? I got to tell you something. When we talk about making a difference today in the game, I got 2 guys that I'm going to say are my Cutter's Edge Pro difference makers of the game.
Who brought the edge? Who changed the game? Who is our Cutter's Edge Pro difference maker?
When you want to give your home or business the edge, call Cutter's Edge Pro in South Florida for all your landscape solutions.
Here's our Cutter'sEdgePro.com difference maker.
All right. See, I was able to get it right this time. This time I was able to get it right, and I've got the right billboard and everything to go. All right, I'm going to go with 2 dudes today that I absolutely love what I saw from them. Jacoby Thomas, who came up with a nasty-ass sack catching up to Castellanos from behind, and then also came up with the interception. To me, Jacoby Thomas has been obviously incredibly impactful. And then Bryce Fitzgerald, his teammate in the backfield there. And he had an interception, which now it's his 3rd interception on the season. And those 2 guys were making impact plays. And when I look at the final stats, Jacoby had 5 tackles, all solo. Okay? 2 pass defenses, too, on top of all of that. Fitzgerald, he had 3 tackles, all solo, too. So, pretty cool to see that the kid is making just an absolute impact, man, in the game. Pretty cool. And I got to give them my Cutter's Edge Pro difference makers of the game. And when it comes to landscaping, they do it all, folks. Call my guy, William Quigley. Landscaping, outdoor lighting, irrigation, artificial grass. And I have a couple of dogs, and they love the artificial grass. Make sure you call them Dade, Broward, or Palm Beach counties. They've got over 70 trucks, whether it's commercial, residential, they handle it all, and they design it exactly to your specifications, and they make sure they engineer and design every single yard or business that they work in Call my guy, William Quigley, 954-472-0622. Those guys are our Cutter's Edge Pro difference makers of the game.
The Cutter's Edge Pro Difference Makers brought to you by Cutter'sEdgePro.com, servicing HOAs, condominiums, townhomes, commercial properties, corporate parks, malls throughout South Florida. Cutter'sEdgePro.com, providing South Floridians the edge every day of the year.
All right. Don't forget, folks, you can make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum donation. As always, appreciate you all. Use the QR codes. All right, what do we got here? Enemy Bob says, I have seen a Cutter's Edge yard, and it's better than I can do. Well, they're freaking amazing. They are. They're pretty amazing. Dexter says, if Miami faces a team that can block better, their secondary is in trouble during the playoffs. There's not a lot of them, Dexter. That's the problem. You make it sound like it's something that they're going to run into and it's really common, and it's not. There's not a lot of people that can push that line around. Now, it's hard for you to be able to push that line around or stop them and then also stop Malachi Toney and C.J. Daniels. There's not a lot of defenses that can do that. So if you're going to try to bottle up those two guys and the running game, that's going to be hard. So listen, I'm not happy with the ending, but let's not go over panic mode now to a point that we're exaggerating now. Okay? Not a lot of defenses have what it takes to stop that running game and those two wide receivers. So, take it easy. I think that Miami is got to focus more on beating itself than the opponents beating them. Because today, the only reason that Florida State got back in it's because Miami didn't do what they were supposed to do, not because of Florida State. I will pick on Miami more for the mistakes, the missed tackles, the penalties, all that shit. That's what I give them, and bad decisions. That's where I give them more of the blame. Why we feel the way we do after a win against FSU and you're undefeated. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to sit here and, oh, wow, they're in real trouble. No, dude, they've pushed around pretty much everybody they play. They pushed FSU around pretty much for 3 quarters. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to sit here and panic like their threat is more themselves, not the opponents. And especially would you like me to read the schedule? I can read the schedule for the Canes that's left. And it's really not anything out of this world that you're going to be really concerned about or freaking out when it comes to the Canes. Overall, I'm going to read the schedule for you. I'll pull it up here now. And just in case those of you that haven't gone through the schedule and you don't know exactly what's coming, they've played the meat of their schedule now. They've played the best teams and the best defenses that they're going to face. They get the week off. Then they're home against Louisville. They're better than Louisville. Stanford sucks. SMU is gritty, but they can beat SMU, dude. It's at SMU. Then they're home against Syracuse, a gritty team. Home against NC State. They can handle NC State. Vautech, at Vautech, it is horrible. That's not the place that's not the Blacksburg that you grew up with back in the day. Okay. Unfortunately, Beamer ball is absolutely gone, long gone. And then you finish at Pitt. That's a nice little gritty team. What did Pitt do today? Pitt beat BC 48-7. They're 3-2 on the year, 1-1 so far in the conference. Miami, over the next 7 games, is going to be a heavily favored team. Nobody is going to be able to really push them around that's left on that schedule. Nobody has a defense like what you face, like the talent that Notre Dame has on their defense, like the talent that Florida has on their defense, and the talent that FSU has on their defense. No one that's left has that kind of talent. So the next test in that sense will be when you get to the playoffs, because not even the ACC championship game should test you. That's where we're at right now. The Canes are playing themselves the rest of the way. All they have to do is maintain their focus and play the way they're supposed to play, and they'll easily handle every single opponent that is left. By the way, I want to thank the Canes because I took the -4.5 to start the game. And then when the Noles drove and got to the three, I picked up and doubled my bet when it went to Canes -1.5. And I was like, let's go, baby. Let's go. So I love the live line. I tell you guys all the time on the show, follow the live line. The live line is the one where, by the way, I hope the Poyser kid is good because, obviously he got a little banged up there. Mario's late games decision worry me. Rodney, who the hell's going to argue with you, my brother? You are right on target. Miami will be on the positive side. We beat FSU. If the team can handle success and coaches are aggressive all 4 quarters, Canes will be fine. Go Canes, go Panthers. You are preaching, Miami LB. You are preaching, baby. Preach. True Fin Fan absolutely has nothing to do with FSU. Mario let them get back in it. We were killing them deep. After the last Tony TD, did we even attempt another deep ball? Yeah, I don't get it, man. Light them up, dude. Light them up. I want to see Randall Hill in the end zone taking out the 6 shooters. Run their asses off the damn field. I'm with you. Stack up them points. Ocala Joe. Herbie made a comment on the game that makes sense. Miami's biggest opponent is in the mirror. Right, exactly. That's it. That's all that's left after this game. We've even talked about it, that after this game, there's really no real test. No real test. There's a couple, Syracuse, SMU, some gritty teams, but Miami is better. Better. Offense and defensive lines of SMU and Syracuse cannot handle Miami. I'm sorry. I've watched those teams. They cannot handle Miami. So they should kick everybody's ass that's left on the schedule. And I hope Mario uses this as a tool to show them that you got to stop letting up. You got to stop letting up, And this is, by the way, in the next half is a good stretch to kick their asses and play some of your backups in the second half and have fresher guys for the playoffs. If you play mature and you kick their ass, you get to bring in the backups, you get to rest those guys, and they don't have as much wear and tear by the time the season ends. I think there's a lot of positives there. Let's see what else. If Mario wouldn't have taken the foot off the pedal, Miami beats FSU 40-30. Yeah, I mean, it just you got to do better, and the mistakes too, the penalties. That's something else. Enemy Bob says, I bet the same, Big O. Wasn't it beautiful? When it went down, it was like, okay, so now I only have to give 1.5 when I was comfortable giving you 4.5. By the way, Mario, I'm lucky that they settled for the field goal and didn't try for the touchdown. You might have hurt me on the backdoor cover there. I would have won the 1.5. I would have ended up winning, but I wouldn't have won as much as I won now with the 4.5. Also with the 1.5 and the 4.5 bets. So now we'll buy a little Bitcoin here at the end of the night here because I haven't cashed out yet, but we'll cash out later and get ourselves a little Bitcoin with it. Celebrate. By the way, we are at right around 124,000. Bitcoin is screwing around, trying to break the record. It's at 123,967. It's been going right there in 124. It's 124,290, I believe, is the record. So I don't know if it'll happen here overnight, but nice to see that Bitcoin is popping. I like that. Remember, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation, by the way. And, one of the things that we always want to figure out in this game was what was the key decision. So let's get to our Slowman's key decision of the game.
What was the deciding moment? Who made the right move? Where did the game change? It's the Slowman's key decision of the game. Make the smart decision to protect your home and family by calling Sloman's at 1-800-ALARM-ME, serving Americans for nearly 100 years. Here's our Sloman's key decision of the game.
Okay, the key decision of the game.
What was the deciding moment? Who made the right move?
Okay. All right. The key decision fooled this idiot. Okay? The key decision fooled this idiot. Because I was convinced they were going to run the ball 50 times down their throats. I watched the Virginia game. I watched Florida State. I've watched them get pushed around. And I watched Virginia do whatever the hell they want. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Virginia doesn't have a half the line Miami does. So if they're going to be able to do this to FSU, then Miami's going to run all over their ass. And I'm an idiot because FSU came out, and to their credit, they said, if we allow them to run the ball, it'll be a really long day for us, and we will have no chance to play in this game. And they were right, because the way they got back into the game, it was by making sure they stopped that running game and then, got back into the second half. And I got to give the key decision of the game is to say, no, we're going to air it out. We're going to air it out because Malachi Tony is going to catch 7 balls for 107 yards on a 15.3 yard average per catch and 2 touchdowns. Should have been 3 if it wasn't for the penalty. CJ Daniels, 5 catches, 78 yards, 15.6 yards per catch and 2 touchdowns. Both guys averaging 15 yards a catch. Then you got Elijah Lofton, which it's nice to see the tight end now consistently getting in the game the last couple of weeks. Not huge numbers, but they were key catches, 3 for 21, 7 yards a pop. Alex Ballman, the other tight end, also helped out, 3 for 18, 6 yards a pop. Jordan Lyle, Mark Fletcher caught a pass each, but they ended up total 20 catches, 241 yards, 12.1 yards per catch, and 4 touchdowns on the night. Plays of 44, 47 yards in the passing game by Tony and Daniel. So you had the big play moments. Should have had another big play moment. You had consistency throughout where you had 240 yards. And in a game that I couldn't have been more wrong. Okay. I was right that they won at least, and laying the 4.5, we won and all that. That's great. But I did not expect this. This is not the way I expected them to. And they started the game with a pass, which again kind of, threw me off a little bit here because I thought they were going to go in there and they were going to get into a fight in a phone booth. That's what I thought we were going to see, a fight in a phone booth. And we didn't see the fight in the phone booth. And that, to me, the running game ran 32 times for 97 yards. They averaged 3 yards per carry. Mark Fletcher averaged 3.3 yards per carry, 12 rushes for 40 yards. Keelan Marion, obviously not the running back, but 1 for 22. Brown, 8 for 19, 2.4 yards per carry. Jordan Lyles, 7 for 18, 2.6. Your 3 main ball carriers, 3.3, 2.4, 2.6. They stuffed the run. I did not see that coming. I could not have been more wrong about that. But I'm glad they got it done. And you know who gets it also done? Sloman's Home Security. And right now, when it comes to Shield Link, that is the key decision you will make for your home. Professional grade security monitoring with cutting edge smart home automation. We're in 14 different states. So it depends where you're watching. 1-800-ALARM-ME. Give them a ring. Check it out. You can switch the lights on and off and the thermostat. You can control everything. And it's a beautiful thing, man, when you're able to control everything and tell them that Big O sent you. They will take care of you. For our key decision of the game, homeowners can lock doors, adjust the thermostat, switch lights on or off, view live camera feeds. You can even create automated routines from a single dashboard. If you're headed home, somebody is dropping off some food, you can talk to them and say, hey, just leave the food there. I'll be there in a minute. Or you're headed home and it's been a hot day. You want to turn on the AC. You're a half hour away. You want the house to cool down. So when you get there, boom. Or you're not going to be there for a little bit. You want to turn on, the hallway lights, you want to turn on the outside lights, you can control all of that with the Shield link, and tell them that Big O sent you. 1-800-ALARM-ME. And I got to say, the key decision of the game was to unleash that passing game for the Miami Hurricanes.
Our key decision of the game is brought to you by Sloman's Home Shield. When you want to protect your home, family, or business, call Sloman's at 1-800-ALARM-ME.
All right. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Chainlink donation. Hateful Steve is in the house. Says, watching tonight from St. Lucia in the Caribbean. Oh, dude, I've been dying. Have you seen that big old mountain peak? Are you by there? Oh, dude, I'm dying to go there. I'm dying to visit a couple of the islands in the Caribbean, and St. Lucia is one of them, bro. Definitely. I mean, there are so many gems in that stretch of the Caribbean. There's so many great islands to visit there, and St. Lucia is one of them. God bless you, bro. Enjoy that one. He says, 1 minute, it's 28-3. Then I refresh the feed, and it's a close game. Glad we won, but damn. Yeah, you got to watch the game, Hateful Steve. You're going to get pissed. You're going to get pissed because they let him back in, and they made and the Mario bonehead decision that we've had in the past, it showed up today, bro. It showed up today. Kind of sucks, Kind of sucks because you're like, yo, bro, we can't have this during, the ACC championship game or the playoffs there, Mario. The lucky thing is for us as Canes fans is the meat of their schedule is done. Now they've just got to kind of be professionals all the way through and stay focused, so they can actually take care of all the opponents that are left because they're all inferior. So they've got to just be really focused. Let's see if it happens. Did Carson Beck win back-to-back titles? He's got the experience in the big games. Let the kid ball for 4 quarters. Yeah. Now, he's not perfect. You can see it. He's not completely in sync with his guys. And by the way, to the credit of FSU, and one of those bad throws that he was off, it was pressure too. Okay. Let's give FSU a little credit also, so they got to him. But I mean, when you've got Malachi Toney and CJ Daniels, yeah, I'm with you. You got to let him roll. You got to find a way. Malachi Toney, man. I can't tell you how much I'm impressed with Malachi Toney. He is one of the most impressive young receivers I have seen in a long time for the Canes. We used to get that all the time. Back in the day with Santana Moss or something, we had young guys that would come out of nowhere and start playing well. Randall Hill, you can name guys that had good careers here and started playing well from the Blades brothers, Perriman. You had guys that were solid receivers from freshman or sophomore years when they first got on the field and just started, to play well. We haven't had one in a long time like Malachi Toney. We've had a couple kids that come in and they transfer and they've been in the league and they came in for a year or two in the back end of their college careers and they were pretty good for us. But we haven't had a young guy like this in a while, dude. In a while. And this kid is as special as it gets. He is fun to watch, man. Let's see. Dexter says, if Miami faces a team. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. I'm sorry. That one I read. What is it? Sloman's is the best, all connected to your phone. Yes, actually it is. It's really convenient when you have it all on your phone. It's really cool. Only a quick passing offense can hurt us. Although I like our secondary. This secondary is it's not what we saw last year. I like our guys to, make some plays. I got to say, I really have a lot of confidence in the secondary for for the Miami Hurricanes compared to what I saw last year. I gotta, oh man, it's crazy. All right. Good stuff there. Let me see. What else do we have? Don't forget Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. We are right at 124,000. I'm just checking Bitcoin. It's crazy, man. Mario's going to kill a special season. Let's not get so crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's, we're all right. Okay. No, nobody's perfect either. Okay. This is like the one bad night that he's had, a bad decision, and they won the game and they got through it. It's not like it's been happening in every game. So I'm going to pump the brakes on it. I'm not going to go overboard and all that kind of stuff. This team is really good, dude. Really good. And I expect it to get better. I expect these young guys to get better. They have 7 more games to play. I expect this team to be really, really good and maybe a much more fine oiled machine. Is that the term? By the end of the season, that when you get to the ACC championship game in the playoffs, you're not making some of these mistakes and you're playing professionally, more consistent from beginning to end, and you're not having these kind of let-ups. Again, you're not going to have a lot of this kind of stuff go on in the second half because the schedule that they just went through, this was the hard part of the schedule. This is it. This is the hard part. Hateful Steve again in the house on Venmo. Thank you, sir. He says, yes, sir. The mountain you're talking about is called Pitons or Pitons. They're definitely better in person than the photo you've seen. The local beer is also called Piton. Make sure you get here. Well worth it, and prices are reasonable for everything. Yeah, I got to go, man. I got to go. And that is one of the islands that I want to go to. Yes. It's a beautiful island, man. Beautiful island. And thank you, my brother, as always. And we always encourage you to go to Cash App or Venmo over the Super Chats because we get 100% of the donation, which is better for our show. Keeps us around a little longer. Whereas YouTube takes 30%. They don't have enough money as it is, which is insane. They need more money. It's absolutely crazy. Miami had a bad night running the ball, but I'm sure Louisville is going to get run over. Yeah, exactly. I'm sure everybody that's left on their schedule is going to end up getting run over. All right, folks, we are out of here. We appreciate you all out there. We got to get back. We'll be back tomorrow morning to do a Dolphins pregame show. All right, and we'll have the postgame show for you as they take on the Panthers. We'll be on tomorrow at 11:30 in the morning. We appreciate our guy, Sean Stanley. We appreciate Manny Navarro. We thank all of you who tuned in. Don't forget to smash the hell out of the like button whenever you're watching. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We'll see you tomorrow morning as we get you ready for the Dolphins and the Panthers here. As the Canes get it done against FSU 28-22, they improved to 5-0, and they're now 1-0 in the ACC, and they will enjoy their bye week. You enjoy the rest of your Saturday night.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.